Assalamu alaikum to all of you. I hope you will be safe and sound. This is New Oxford Modern English Book 2. Now come to the page number 84. Today we are going to start unit number 10 and the title of the unit is Adil and the Gold Chain. Adil and the Gold Chain. As the title shows that the story is about Adil and the gold chain. First of all, we have some words to know, and the very first word is crept. Crept. Moved slowly and carefully, usually in order to avoid being noticed. Moved slowly and carefully, usually in order to avoid being noticed. You can say that crept means moved carefully in order to avoid being heard, as you can see in this picture. Second word is escape. To get away from or free from something. To get away from or free from something. So escape is an act of successfully getting out of a place in a danger or bad situation. Next word is grabbed. Grabbed. Take hold of something suddenly and roughly. Take hold of something suddenly and roughly. Simply, you can say that it means a sudden snatch. Next word is immediately. Immediately. At once, without any hesitation. At once, without any hesitation. Actually, immediately means instantly or without any delay. Instantly or without any delay. And the last word is paddled. Paddled. Moving the pedals of a bicycle to make it go. Moving the pedals of a bicycle to make it go. So paddled means moved by moving the pedals of a bicycle. There are 6 characters in this story: Adil, his mother, 2 robbers, inspector, and a constable. Now let's start the reading and explanation of this chapter. Adil was 12 years old. He lived with his parents in a house in a small town. He cycled to school every day. One Saturday, Adil was cleaning his cycle. His mother said, "I'm going to the market, Adil. I want to buy some vegetables." The story is actually about 12 years old boy whose name was Adil, and he lived with his parents. And he went to school on cycle. One day when he was cleaning his cycle, his mother was going to the market to buy some vegetables. Next, "All right, Mom," said Adil. 10 minutes later, Adil finished his work and went into the house. "Why is there's Mom's bag?" cried Adil. "She's left it behind." He took the bag and ran out of the house. He jumped onto his cycle. "I shall catch up with Mom in a minute or two," he thought, and he cycled quickly along the road. Now come to the explanation of this paragraph. When Adil finished his work, he went inside the house. Suddenly he saw his mom's bag because she forgot to take it. Then Adil jumped on his cycle and went after his mother to give her bag. Now come to the page number 85. Adil soon saw his mother on the pavement. She was talking to 2 men. Suddenly one of the men grabbed his mother's gold chain and the 2 men ran off. Adil pedaled as fast as possible. When he reached his mother, she was crying. When Adil saw his mother, she was talking to 2 strangers. Suddenly one of the strangers grabbed his mother's gold chain, and they both ran off. Then Adil's mother started crying. "Don't cry, Mom," he said. "I'll catch them and get your chain back." He went off on his cycle after the man. After a few minutes, Adil saw the men. They were going quite slowly, and Adil kept behind them. Soon they went inside a house. Adil put his cycle against the wall, crept up to the window, and looked in. The men were in the room. One of them hid the gold chain under a clock. Then they both sat down and started talking and laughing. Adil looked at the number on the door, which read 219. Adil was very intelligent and brave boy, and he said to his mother that "Don't need to cry, I'll get your chain back." Now Adil went after the man very slowly and carefully. Then suddenly they both went inside a house, and one of the men was hiding the gold chain under a clock, and Adil was looking inside the house through the window. And he read their house number, that was 219. Next, Adil cycled straight to the police station and ran inside. "Sir, sir," he cried, "please come quickly. 2 men have stolen my mother's gold chain." Then Adil went to the police station immediately and told the whole story to the inspector. Turn to the page number 86. "Are you sure?" asked the inspector. "Where are they?" The inspector and a constable went with Adil and knocked on the door of house 219. One of the men opened the door. "Is this one of them?" asked the inspector. "Yes," shouted Adil. "He stole the chain." The man laughed. "You won't find any chains here." The inspector walked past the man and entered the house. Adil and the constable waited outside. Then an inspector and a constable went with Adil, and when they knocked at robber's door, one of them opened the door. Adil told to inspector that he is one of the men who snatched my mother's gold chain. But the robber was sure that he won't find any chain here. Next paragraph is, "It's under that clock," shouted Adil from the doorway. Immediately the 2 men tried to escape, but the policeman caught them. The inspector found the chain under the clock. The policeman took the man away, and Adil went home. A little later, the gold chain was returned. "What a brave, clever boy you are," said father when he heard the story. Now comes to the explanation of this paragraph. The inspector entered the house, and Adil told him the exact place where they hid the gold chain. Then the 2 men got frightened and tried to escape, but the police caught them, and soon the gold chain was returned. Here is a question in the side box. Why did the 2 men try to escape? So the answer of this question is, the 2 men tried to escape because they didn't want to be caught. And the moral of the story is, we should always handle bad and difficult situations wisely, like Adil. Come to the page number 87. Exercises A. Comprehensions. Answer the following questions. Question number 1. Why did Adil stay at home? And the answer is Adil stayed at home because he was cleaning his bicycle. Question number 2. Why did Adil go after his mother? And the answer is Adil's mother forgot to take her bag. Adil went after his mother to give her back. Question number 3. Who stole the gold chain? And the answer is 2 men stole the gold chain. Question number 4. Where did the man hide the chain? And the answer is the man hid the chain under a cloak. Question number 5. Who went to the house with Adil? And the answer is an inspector and a constable went to the house with Adil. And the last question is how were the men caught? And the answer is the constable and the inspector caught the 2 men when they tried to escape. Part 2. Complete the following sentences. So you have to complete these sentences according to the story. Number 1. His mother was going dash. So it will become his mother was going to the market. Number 2. The 2 men dash. So the complete sentence will be the 2 men grabbed the gold chain. Number 3. I'll catch dash. So it will become I'll catch with mom in a minute or 2. Part B. Working with words. Read the following and then answer the questions. One day Seema took Sadia's pencil, Sadia took Rihan's pen, and Sana took Seema's lunchbox. Then Mohsin ate Salima's cake and Manzar ate Seema's sandwich. Now we have to answer the questions from above paragraph. Question number 1. Whose lunchbox did Sana take? So the answer is Sana took Seema's lunchbox. Question number 2. Whose pencil did Seema take? And the answer is Seema took Sadia's pencil. Question number 3. Whose sandwich did Manzar eat? And the answer is Manzar ate Seema's sandwich. Question number 4. Whose cake did Mohsin eat? And the answer is Mohsin ate Salima's cake. And the last question is whose pen did Sadia take? And the answer is Sadia took Rihan's pen. Now come to the page number 88. Part C. Learning about language. The apostrophe. Apostrophe is a punctuation mark and here it will be used to show possession. To show the possession of a singular noun, we will add apostrophe and then S. Change the underlined words. Example, the bike of Adil. So when we will write it in the form of apostrophe, then we will write Adil, then S, apostrophe, then S, then bike. Now let's start. First sentence is the mom of Adil. First of all, we have to write Adil, then apostrophe, then S, then mom, and it will become Adil's mom. Next, the wheel of the bike, and in the form of apostrophe, it will become bike's wheel. Number 3, the gold chain of his mother. So it will become his mother's gold chain. And the last sentence is the house of the robber. And it will become robber's house. Next, punctuation. Put full stops and capital letters in the following sentences. So in this paragraph, some punctuations are missing. So you have to write this paragraph like this. As you can see in this picture, this is written with all the punctuations. Let's read it out. Why, there's mom's bag, cried Adil. She's left it behind. He took the bag and ran out of the house. He jumped onto his cycle. I shall catch up with mom in a minute or two, he thought, and he cycled quickly along the road. As you can see in this paragraph, capitalizations, full stops, commas, and inverted commas, everything is added in this paragraph. Next, nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Pick out the nouns, verbs, and adjectives in the following passage. Write them in 3 columns in your notebook. So you have to pick out nouns, verbs, and adjectives and write them in your notebook. So what are nouns? Nouns are actually naming words, and verbs are action words, and adjectives are describing words. Let's read out the passage. The old man stood under the great tree and looked towards the blue hills. The heavy rain poured down on him from the thick clouds, and his wet clothes stuck to his skin. Soon the rain stopped and the sun came out. First of all, we will write nouns. Naming words are called nouns. So the nouns are man, tree, hills, rain, clouds, clothes, skin, and sun. I repeat, man, tree, hills, rain, clouds, clothes, skin, and sun. Next we have verbs. Actually, action words are called verbs. Stood, looked, poured, stuck, stopped, and came. I repeat, stood, looked, poured, stuck, stopped, and came. Next, adjectives. And describing words are called adjectives. And in this paragraph, adjectives are old, great, blue, heavy, thick, and wet. Now we are going to learn about workbook, and this is New Oxford Modern English Workbook 2. Come to the page number 62. Part A. You know nouns, verbs, and adjectives, but do you know your pronouns? So naming words are called nouns and action words are called verbs, and describing words are known as adjectives. And pronouns are words that are used instead of noun. For example, he, she, it, I, we, they, you, etc. Part 1. Study the tables and words below. Yes, he, she, it does. No, he, she, it doesn't. Yes, they do. No, they don't. Now we have to use these structures below. Number 2. Use one of the answers given above for each question below. And the first sentence, or you can say question, is, does a man have a nose? And the answer is yes, he does. Question number 2. Does a man have a tail? No, he doesn't. Question number 3. Does a dog have 6 legs? And the answer is no, it doesn't. Question number 4. Does a tree have leaves? And the answer is yes, it does. Question number 5. Do houses have doors? And the answer is yes, they do. Question number 6. Do birds have 4 legs? And the answer is no, they don't. Question number 7. Do cats have horns? No, they don't. Question number 8. Do dogs bark? Yes, they do. Question number 9. Does an elephant bark? No, it doesn't. Question number 10. Does your father drive? And the answer is yes, he does. Question number 11. Do girls play games? And the answer is yes, they do. And the last question is, do you like ice cream? And the answer of the last question is yes, I do. Come to the page number 63. Next, part B for playing with. Number 1. Copy the sentences in your notebook. This is a mat. A mat is for sitting on. So you have to copy this sentence in your notebook. 2. Use the words in boxes and fill in the blanks. And the words are for on, for with, for in, for at. First, dash flying dash. Here we will add for and in. And it will become for flying in. Next, dash painting with. And we will add here for and with. And it will become for painting with. Next, dash seeing with. And we will add here for and with. And it will become for seeing with. And the last is dash shooting at. And we will add here for and at. And it will become for shooting at. Now I'm gonna repeat. For flying in, for painting with, for seeing with, and the last is for shooting at. Number 2. Write 2 sentences in your notebook for each picture. So you have to write 2 sentences for these pictures. I'll give you some examples. First, a notebook is for writing in. A notebook is for writing in. Second is, a ship is for sailing in. A ship is for sailing in. And third sentence is, teeth are for biting with. Teeth are for biting with. And the last sentence is, a photo is for looking at. A photo is for looking at. That's it for today's class. I hope you have understood the lesson. Allah Hafiz. Take care.